Oi, oi, oi there, and welcome all back to another Christian Krekeviden. And no, okay. Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen, and well, we return with yet another post that CPU Chris has basically made, and what you're going to be working out pretty quickly in these, series of events is that things sort of become a little bit more full circle, and unfortunately for Chris, it's gonna leave with a little bit more than just a hole in her mouth. So let's get to it, shall we? Hey everyone, I have something to tell all of you. I have trust issues with some to a lot of you. I will admit in the past years I have been too honest about myself, which was made obvious with the damned theoretical X's and worst of bad and toxic internet trolls, Quickie, Kiwi, and ED. I also feel like this should be evident with all of you, as in my live streams, I have been rather detached or selective from talking and acknowledging you all. I have remained optimistic for the long time for the better quality and positive lifestyle and even fanbase, but at times it is difficult to even remain optimistic with some of what I find in commentary and support. I do not expect each and every one of you to like me, but this present outcome in part, while I accept and own up to my past, is squared on the minority to half of all of you. I need not list the various misconducts, manipulations, blackmail, erroneous misportraying, and NSFW drawings of me, and the leading and various special sonnetudes and roastudes that have left scars in my psyche and memories. And on top of that, a lot of you, I feel, are clinging onto details of my antics that are or can be misportrayed as immature and even vulgar. I am not a fan of vulgar and offensive or evil things. I feel better with the better quality, honest, authentic and finer things of life and others. While with this online society, it is difficult to discern even the authentic intentioned from the gutter trash. I have faith in the good and honest. Actually, I've only just realized right now, part of it's like taking up the screen, so I have to there we go, we'll do it like that. Sorry about that. For most of everyone. But at times, even my own faith is shaken and tested. So yeah, I am going to require a lot in authentic kindness and goodness to even change my views with people on the internet. And I am talking real authentic effort with good and kind intentions with no to very little selfish intentions from all of you. Even doing good solely for the intention of being admitted into the heaven realm that can be considered inauthentic and dishonest. All of you need to reevaluate yourselves. And the obvious darker and offensive interests you may have, I am a good, moral individual, and I speak this solely to benefit and improve all of you. That first comment right there, I say just about sums it up. So let's, for what they are worth, ladies and gentlemen, let's just go through this one step at a time, because there's a little bit more I need to talk about. The first of all is that you're being a bit too honest. You're not wrong, Chris. Yes, you admit it. And not only that, Chris, you were honest about things that you pretty much should not have been honest about. Let's be real about that. Also, evident with this, as I live in my live streams, I've been rather detached or selective from talking and acknowledging all of you. I've remained optimistic for the long time, but the better quality and positive lifestyle and even fan base. What fan base is this, Chris? It's because are people legitimately watching Chris? Who would honestly go out of their way to watch one of Chris Chan's live streams? I haven't caught one, and to be honest, I'm not really don't really want to do that. But at times it is difficult to remain optimistic with some of what I find in commentary and support. Commentary, you mean the people commentating on the things that you have done, Chris, and support. Well, considering that, Chris, you went to the therapeutic docket, Region 10, because of your case of trespassing, I'm pretty sure there were plenty of occasions there for you to seek support, and what you just... The result of that would suggest that it was completely for nothing, considering that you decided not to act on any of the support you were given, and, well, that, as they say, is that. I do not accept each and every one of you to like me. That's an understatement. You mean to say that... well, we'll get to that in a second. But this present outcome in part, while I accept and own up to my part... Okay, so what exactly are you owning up to then, Chris? Are you going to say what you're actually owning up to? Or are you just saying that just so people can hear you say it? Really? That's all you're going to do? Fair enough. Is squared on the minority to half of all of you. I need not list the various misconducts, manipulations, blackmail, erroneous misportrayal, and NSF drawings of me, and leading to various special sonitudes. Like, really, Chris, you're still holding on to that? I know you've been told this many times, Chris, but Quickville is not a real place. Sonichu and Rosechu are not real things. He still left scars because it was like I'd say the suggestion of why it's leaving scars is because that was solely the only real thing that Chris actually had that was 100% his own, and the fact that anybody can touch it is like leaves issues and stuff like that. And on top of that, a lot of you, I feel, are clinging on to details of my antics. Oh, you mean the details about what you did to Bob? I feel like, well, I'd say quite a lot of other people, considering that the body cam footage, Chris, said that Solitude told you to lash out at a police officer. Considering that you didn't, Chris, I think it's fair to say that, well, you're a maniac. All of you can be misportrayed as immature and even vulgar. I am not a fan of vulgar and offensive or evil things. No comment about that. I feel better with the better quality, honest, authentic and finer things of life and others. Chris, you may remember the fact that Chris says this a lot, but, well, we sort of... If that's true, then why don't you just do it then Chris, instead of bleating on about it for years? This is... I'm familiar with this song and dance from you, Chris. You're not fooling anybody at this point. With this online society, it is difficult to discern even the authentic intention from the gutter trash. I have faith in the good and honest of most of everyone, but at times even my own faith is shaken and tested. Well, you might want to find something. You might want to find a better faith then, Chris. That's my suggestion. So yeah, I'm going to require a lot in authentic kindness and goodness to change my view. So yeah, basically it's our job all of a sudden to start showing Chris authenticity and kindness as though we are being damned to do it. And I am talking authentic effort and good and kind intentions with no to very little selfish intentions from all of you. Yes, that's right, everybody. Chris is putting you on notice as though we are the ones who've got to prove ourselves to Chris. Look at this way, Chris, guys. Nothing from the Idea guys to Blue Spike to being arrested to being released. Chris's ego is nothing short of exasperating and despicable. And, well, what would you expect? All of you need to reevaluate yourselves. Do we now, Chris? Do we really? And the obvious dark and offensive interests you may have, I am a good, moral individual, and I speak this solely to benefit and improve all of you. And once again, this comment right here just about sums up the big thing. So, this is legitimately what Chris's life has almost boiled down to now, is that Chris still thinks that he really is Jesus, and that the only thing Chris is actually capable of doing is do you think the actual Jesus would put people on notice to say that they've got to be better? Do you think Chris would ever sacrifice himself on the cross if he was that much like Jesus? I somehow doubt that, don't you? And whilst we're also, by the way, we've restocked and we have plenty to sell, so yeah, that's right. For some reason, the Etsy store is back up and stuff like that. I will make a longer video about that, but whatever. Meanwhile, aside from all that, I will also state one truth. I have been missing 2 teeth. They were broken and had to be removed. I am needing transplants to replace them, and my insurance covers only a little bit in dental. The dentist I have gone to for consultation has given me the estimate of over $11,000. Look after your teeth, ladies and gentlemen. That's just about what I've got to say to that. Purchases made on the Quicklight website store or on my Etsy do help, and I have managed to save a bit over $500 in my own savings account. We don't know, by the way, that by this point, ladies and gentlemen, as to whether or not Chris actually ever paid back the money that he stole from Bob. We might never know, actually. Purchases and donations do add some into the savings. It would be a start if more purchases were made on my store. So, yes, by the way, do you think this is a way to, like, work your way into Chris's good books by just throwing money at him? Don't do that, by the way, but is that all it is? Yet I have spoken of what I would appreciate of all of you to build my trust back. Yeah, yes, it literally is. That's the way you get on. That's the way you get on Chris's good side. It would seem. Just give Chris money, and then Chris will forgive all of your sins. You know, somebody said like a couple of days ago that Chris is hardly this is not exactly blasphemous from somebody calling themselves Jesus. Well, all I have to say right now is that I think blasphemous is still too huge a word for Chris, because this is not blasphemy. This is just pointless meddling twaddle that nobody with half a monica of common sense would even think about playing into this hokum. Also, I will continue to upload videos onto my YouTube from time to time, as they are fun for me to do. Oh, is that how you... But live streams will be less frequent until when all of you soul search and self-help yourselves and authentically can at least tolerate me or even like me with no selfish intentions. Right, that's it. I'm done. I have had it up to here with this bullshit. And ever since Chris got onto friggin' Blue Sky, I am absolutely done with this bullshit. And by the way, yes, no pregnancy. Well, thank goodness for that, because $11,000, and this is, again, you think Chris losing 2 teeth, you think this is where it... This is what a lifetime of drinking Coke and eating fake sugar candies do to you, ladies and gentlemen. Your teeth will fall out one by one. But with that being said, look after your teeth, ladies and gentlemen, and soul search yourself to find a better kind of Messiah, because Chris is certainly not that. Never has been and never will be. So there you go. I have no better way to end this apart from that. So there. Goodbye.